Okay, this reading is for Bill, and it is kind of preview, kind of what to expect as we move into 2020, and just kind of what the questions that come up about what to look forward to, how to approach the new year in a positive way, um, energies that are going to help you move forward. And this is a life path reading, so it's all about the direction that you're going, and you'll the the outcomes are always possible outcomes, and it's the outcome based on what's happening right now, and assuming that you stay on the course you are on, or assuming that you do the course correct encouragements that you get in these cards. And I went ahead and shuffled and dealt, because it's kind of a long drawn out process. So we have 15 cards, and we also have 15 either confirmation or explanation cards for each one of those cards. So it's kind of a long drawn out process. So I just went ahead and drew them for you, and I've drawn from 4 different decks. So the first ones, the initial, the base reading came from a deck called Wisdom of the Oracle, and I love this deck. It's a really nice. There's 3 rows, and I go 5 across and 3 down, and I can go all the way across. I can go down and go on a diagonal, whatever, and come up with messages. So after this is done, after you've seen this, if you have questions about it, then you're certainly welcome to answer, and I can go in and read, up and down, sideways, and that sort of thing, to respond to any other questions. And we can always pull more cards if we need to. So your very first card is essentially the dominant energy. And I was really excited, actually, when I got this card, because, excuse me, the card actually that you got is poised. And the reason that's a great card to start with is that it's really about being ready. And it's also about bringing something to light, where where you not only start being even more honest with yourself, but more honest with everyone. When we bring something to light, the light shines on everyone, not just on us. But it's about being at your best and confidence. And essentially, what this card suggests is that you can rest assured now that you're ready for anything. Whatever it is that you've been working toward, things that you've been hoping for, things that you've been sometimes even procrastinating a little bit, or things that you've been preparing for, whether it's been continued study or practicing something or moving into the next level of something, that you're ready for that now. You're ready to move into this. You're coming in, you're armed with knowledge, and you're it's there's this, you're about to begin a new phase in your life, and you're ready for it. And a lot of times we get a card like this that's telling us that we're ready because we're doubting ourselves and we don't feel ready. This is telling you that you've done the legwork, you've done the hardest part. And so you have all the tools you need now to do the things that you want to do, and the things that you need to do. This is also a little bit about feeling, being comfortable in your own skin, and learning to be happy with who you are. And we are all our own worst critics. And, to that I say, look at yourself with the same soft focus filter that you look at everyone else. Because when we look at other people, we don't hyper focus on something that's a perceived flaw. We see the whole person, and we appreciate the whole person. And so, this is asking you to look at yourself with that same soft focus filter. Be confident that where you are now, everything in your life has led you up to where you are now. That's prepared you to move into this new phase of your life. And a lot of the people that study moon phases and astrology and that sort of thing are all talking about how we are coming to the end of a 10-year cycle and beginning a new one, and that this new one is going to be moving in a very positive direction for everyone, for most of us. So the very beginning, the very dominant energy is, and really this whole top row here, all 5 of these cards are about dominant energy, but the first one is the most important. It's really about how you're ready. Whatever it is that you're working toward and wanting to do, you're ready to do. Now, your next card, which I think was amazing because it came next to poised, which just doubles the strength, is you got building blocks. And building blocks next to poised means you're a powerhouse. This is all about strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress, moving upward, onward, forward in a positive way. That the things that you're working on now, that you really have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. So the things that you're wanting in your life, and there's always more than one thing. There's usually a big thing, and then there's lots of other things that come along with it. And then there's the icing on the cake kind of thing. And so this is just telling you that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. You're being promised that not only do you have everything you need in order to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, but that you're in the perfect position to do so. And that this new phase you're moving into is going to be a very positive phase for you. And it's going to stick. It's going to exceed your expectations. And that's a really cool place to be. Anytime we make changes, changes affect everything. They affect us. They affect those around us. This card tells you that everything is going to be affected in a positive way, and not to fear. These 2 cards together tell you not to fear moving into this new phase, doing these new things, stepping out of your comfort zone, which is where life begins, at the end of your comfort zone, and actually doing it. Don't fear the unknown, because the Spirit has big plans for you. In fact, we usually dream a little smaller than we should. Spirit's dreaming really big for you. So, amazing 2 first cards. I mean, you really, especially as for a 2020 Outlook Life Path reading, you'd be hard pressed to get 2 better cards, especially side by side like that. Now, the next card you got, called Never Ending Story. Now, the interesting thing about this card is this is about self-criticism, being your own worst critic, being very hard on yourself. It's one thing to be demanding and have high standards for yourself, and it's another thing to beat yourself down and to be self-critical. We need to be less of that sort of thing, but a little bit of that is healthy. It creates balance. But that criticism, where we hyper focus on every single thing that we think is a flaw, or something, you're too tall, too short, too smart, too dumb, too, whatever. And when really, when you don't look at other people that way. When you look at other people, you see the whole picture. When we look at ourselves, we hyper focus on things that we think other people don't struggle with, and that's not true. It's never been true. The things that we dislike about ourselves or feel weak about ourselves, or the limitations that we put on ourselves, are not true. And they've never been true. And all limits are self-imposed. So whatever it is we feel like we struggle because we think we struggle. It doesn't occur to kids that they might not be good at something. They see something they want to do and they just jump in and try it. So, this card is encouraging you actually to go back to that kind of childlike wonder, and that unconditional love. If you're capable of unconditional love of someone else, you're capable of unconditional love for yourself. We just have to dig deep to get it. We have to stop comparing ourselves to other people. The best way to do that is to just look at how far you've come. So this one is really asking you to be kind to yourself. Be as kind, as gentle, and as generous to yourself as you are to other people, because you've already been told, that you have everything you need to create this amazing life. And really, all that you really need to do is love yourself. Now, your next card is an interesting card. This is the time when I kind of wish I would. I think, I wish I had been drawing this so you could see it, so that you could see how it came out. But the card you got is soulmates, but you got the card for soulmates in reverse. Now, soulmates, unlike twin flames, there's a difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. And we have many soulmates. There's lots of soulmates. And some soulmates are of romantic nature. Some soulmates are our best friends. There's those kindred spirits. There's people, if you believe in cellular memory, they're people who have been part of your genetic history. If you believe in reincarnation, they're people you knew before this life. If you don't believe in any of that, then they're the people that you meet that you instantly connect to. Like you've always known them. And we all meet people like that, or we meet people that we think, where have you been all my life? You're my best friend. The minute I meet you, kind of those kinds of people. This, when soulmates comes in reverse, it's a little bit different. And when cards come in reverse, it's not bad. You just get a little extra encouragement. And encouragement is advice. So, there's reward cards. These are the amazing things. Yeah, you're on track. You're doing a great job. And encouragement cards are those cards that give you a suggestion. And you can take it or not. You can do what you want to with the encouragement. When the soulmate card comes in reverse, and a very important relationship in your life is when it's going to bring you to your knees. Now, what you need to know about that is this soulmate comes with a powerful gift, but it's not always the gift that we expect. It's typically a lesson. It's my hair is still wet, and it feels funny. That's why I keep messing with it. This is the kind of person that teaches you a really big lesson, and someone that affects you in a very profound way. The things that you see as weaknesses, the things that make you question yourself, typically will come into play in the type of a relationship. But they do that so that you can heal. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that this is going to be an amazing, wonderful relationship. Very often growth, in fact, all growth is painful if you're doing it right. And so real growth Real growth is painful because as we grow, we have to let go of things that no longer serve us. We have to let go of limiting beliefs. We have to let go of um, sometimes we have to let go of people and of situations that no longer serve us. And we think, it's like we learn a lesson sometimes and we hold on to that lesson with such tenacity. But as we grow and we change and we move forward, we really no longer need that, but we continue to hold on to it. And then it becomes a limiting belief, something that we hold on to that actually holds us back, where before it protected us or helped us move forward. So when you get a soulmate card in reverse, it's asking you to really examine your relationships, recognize them for the gifts that they are, and then the ones that are no longer edifying, you can let go, and the ones that are worth it, you need to fight for. And because this came right next to Never Ending Story, I'm going to tell you that the one that you need to fight for the most is yourself. You need to see yourself in a more positive light. You need to love yourself and recognize these people. This is generally one person that has a significant and profound effect on you. It's also typically tricky. So, rather than, sometimes, in general, this card means that this is a person that doesn't belong in your life anymore. Maybe belonged in your life before, but doesn't anymore. And you ask this question rather than say, why is this happening? Why did he or she do this to me? Why did he or she treat me this way? Why did he or she demand this or not give this or give too much of that? Rather than asking that, you say, what is the gift in this? What have I learned from this? What has been exposed about me that I can let go of? What has been exposed about me that I need to embrace? And see that for the gift that it is. And determine whether or not this person is someone that deserves to stay in your life or not. And it could be anybody, really. But your first three cards were really very, very much about you and your ability and your capability. And I really think that a large part of this soulmate card for you is still about you recognizing your own strength and your own value. And when you love yourself and you place value on yourself and you start having the same high standards for everyone else that you hold for yourself, you'll probably get your soulmate card turned around. So this is asking you really to let go of anyone and anything. And soulmate cards aren't always about people. Sometimes it's about situations and things, places and situations that we find ourselves in. And a lot of times, and most of the time, we've had something to do with it. We've contributed to the situation that we're in. This card is asking you to let something or someone go. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to recognize your own worth, because that's going to show you what this person came to teach you. And once you've learned that lesson, then you can determine which way to go and where to go from here. When you do that, your very next card is peace. And that card signifies exactly what it sounds like. It is all about peace of mind, peace of heart. So let's take a really quick little review here. The very first card is about have everything that you need. You have done all the homework. Whatever it is that you're working toward and wanting to accomplish can be yours. You are ready for the new year. You're ready for this new phase of your life coming in. You're starting it out on a very solid foundation, both with knowledge, with skill, with looking inward, self a little more, being kind and gentle and generous with yourself. letting go of the situations and the people that no longer serve you. And when you do that, you will accomplish the peace of mind that you're looking for. Now, if there is something coming up in your life that is giving you concern, causing you concern, this is telling you not only are you on the right path, but it's going to end very well and very positive for you. That does not mean that it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it, because the reward is what you've been working toward all along. So that's your dominant energy, which is pretty exciting. Now, I did pull confirmation cards for each of these with the poise card, meaning that you're ready and that you're moving into a new phase. The card that you got is shifting. This is from a different deck. Shifting. And shifting is a changing of the mind. It's a moving forward, moving into a new phase. So this just confirms that this change, this new phase that you're moving into, this onward and upward movement that you're making, is absolutely true. So you got confirmation on that. The next card on the building blocks. This was all about you're building a foundation and having everything that you need to build an authentic, magical, wonderful life for yourself. And you got with fairy magic. And fairy magic is all about having fun and things falling into place and moving forward in a very positive direction. So you got an absolute confirmation on your first two cards. On the next card, you got the never-ending story, and this is about you being kinder to yourself. And the card that you got for this on confirmation is sexuality. Now, the sexuality card is about a couple of things. One, now remember, this never-ending story card was all about you being kinder to yourself, being more generous of yourself, loving yourself. One of the ways we do that is we put ourselves first. We take care of ourselves, and self-care is never selfish. I say this every single day. Self-care is never selfish. The sexuality card means a couple of things. As it relates to the soulmates card, it's about balance and about you getting the things that you need and giving the things that you need, not just sexual needs, but those are in there because that's a very important aspect of our life. But it's also about you recognizing the things that, the difference between wants and needs, and recognizing what it is that's missing in your life and being able to replace that and bring it back into your life and create that amazing life that you've been promised, that you're in the position right now to create. So this is really about loving yourself and being able to recognize that the things that you want and the things that you need in order to make you happy are as valid and as important as anything that anybody else could want. Your opinions are just as important. Your wants, your desires are just as important. The things that make you happy are just as important as anybody else's, including the other people in your life. So, and that's true in all aspects of your life, at work, at home, on a social scale. What you want is just as valid. Your opinion is just as important. And that's really what this sexuality card is about. So again, perfect confirmation card. With the soulmate card, I couldn't believe this. You got the caretaker card. Now, here's what's interesting about the caretaker card. The caretaker card suggests that you spend a lot of time taking care of everyone else. Now, we just talked about this with the sexuality card as the confirmation for this never-ending story. And then you get the caretaker card. Now, here's what I find fascinating about this. The caretaker card is all about how you spend all of your time giving in and settling. And it's asking you to become your own caretaker, to take care of yourself, to be as kind, as generous, and as gentle with yourself as you are with other people. That in fact, your opinions count. What you want counts. What you need counts. This confirms all this one card confirms all four of them. So this whole front row, all of your confirmation cards are coming in and saying, it's almost like knocking you in the head. Ask for what you want, do what you have to do to get it. Where this, why you're struggling and why you're procrastinating and why you are feeling unworthy is a mystery, and it's asking you to please just do it. Recognize that you deserve just like everyone else does. Now, your last card, the reward for doing all of that was, of course, peace. And the confirmation card that you got with that was fearless. Now, fearless doesn't mean that it's not scary. Fearless means that you do it anyway. This is that allowing fear to propel you rather than to paralyze you. It's asking you to not be paralyzed, propel you, every one of these cards. So that's your dominant energy for 2020 and for what's coming and for what it is that you're wanting to accomplish, what it is that you're wanting to do. And this is what you're wanting to do in every aspect of your life. And so that's it's a pretty strong message that you are absolutely on the right track. You are deserving. And when things are right for you, they are right for everyone else. So if your fear is that other people are going to disagree, they're going to think you've lost your mind, they're going to think you're crazy, you need to stay where you are. A lot of that is because it has nothing to do with you. It's how you growing and changing affects them. But Bill, that's not how you've always done it. This is what we expect of you because this is what you've always done, and we won't want to change. The problem is as we grow, sometimes we don't grow at the same rate with our friends and our family, and that creates a little bit of a problem. So when they tell you, no, you have to stay right here and do exactly what you've always done and be exactly who you've always been, and it's not for your highest good, it's for theirs. And which takes us back to that entire top row where it's telling you that you are worthy, you are valid, everything that you want is just as important as what other people want. And here's the fun little secret to that. People fuss and complain and whine and pout and get mad when you don't do things exactly the way you've always done them, or when you move forward or try something new. And they react that way. And then you just say, look, you can come along or not. You can like it or not. I am who I am, and this is what I'm going to do. And 9 times out of 10, they go, oh, okay. They're like, people are like 4-year-olds. They're testing the waters. They're pushing their limits to see how much they can get because they're trying to get it for themselves. It's all about them. It's not about you. The only one that's going to look out for you is you. And even when we are in a strong, healthy, committed relationship, the best way for you to be great in a relationship is for you to be your best. And that's what all of that's about. So, next row. The next one, this is kind of what you need to be working toward, what you need to be focused on in order for this amazing year that you're about to curate to happen. And your very first card is Yang, which is the masculine of Yin and Yang. It's the masculine principle, it's the masculine principle of movement and creativity, and that sort of thing. You got it in reverse. So when you get it in reverse, you get a little protection message with it. Now, this one asks you to be careful about impulsive action or being reactionary. So say you've made a decision that you've really been working on, and you get a little bit of resistance from somebody, and so you right then instantly decide to do something different. Don't do that. Or say you've not thought about something and somebody says, hey, let's go do this, or you should try that, or you need to be like this, and you just say, okay, because it's easier than thinking about it yourself. It's asking you not to be reactionary in life, in anything, situations, relationships, work, everything. It's asking you to um, just think before you act and make sure that you're following your plan and that you're taking care of you and that you're not constantly, where's the caretaker card? It's asking you not to fall into the trap of taking care of everyone else before you take care of yourself, to make sure that the choices that you make are as beneficial to you as they are to other people, and to you first. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you the confirmation card that we got. This um, maybe. These cards, I don't have I don't have my little thing with me, so I can't tell you the name of the card, but I can tell you what it is because I looked it up already. So this card is actually, it's actually a guide card. And if you look at it, it looks, you can almost see a being in there. And anytime you get a guide card, it's telling you that you have help from the other side, loved ones that have passed, your guardian angels, guides, spirits, however you understand the universe, spirit, God, Gaia, however you understand it. God doesn't care, spirit doesn't care, Gaia doesn't care what you call it, spirit cares that you call. So this card came as a confirmation that when you come into difficulty with this, with people pushing you and trying to pull you in other directions, which is what we were talking about on that first row of cards, to know that you have people cheering you on the other side. They can see, they know what's going on, and they know what's best for everybody concerned. And just know that they're there and cheering you on and giving you the strength that you need to help you stay strong and to stand your ground. And that's a big one, is about standing your ground. Especially because you've already done the work for the things that you're trying to work toward. And it's asking you not to be swayed. Don't and not so much that you shouldn't listen to other people's opinions. It's always good to get another side of the story and to hear things out, because sometimes we miss things. Sometimes we get so caught up in the moment, or we're so in it that we can't see the forest for the trees. So it's not bad to hear somebody else's view of a situation, but this is getting you really to stand your ground. And you were told with all 5 cards plus confirmation cards on the top that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're exactly who you're supposed to be, and you're absolutely on the right track and moving in the right direction. So all the things that you're hoping for in 2020 can be yours, as long as you don't allow other people or situations to come into play and convince you of something else. Because again, they're thinking about themselves, not you. And it's not even nefarious. It's not malicious. It's just that, when someone gives you advice, they're giving you advice based on their experience, but your advice for what you should do based on someone else's experience, you might get lucky and it could be great advice. But until someone has actually experienced something, a lifetime of some things, they really aren't qualified to tell you, you must do this or you must not do that. So this is asking you to stand your ground. So your next card, and again, these cards are all the cards. This row is all about things that you need to focus on in order to be successful and create this amazing life that has been promised to you. And the card you got was chop wood. And again, you got it in reverse, which means you're going to get a little advice. This is about being grounded in the everyday experience and being in the moment, not spending all your time looking back and worrying about uh, what's happening, and what happened then, mistakes or things you didn't do or should have done, or and all that nonsense, and not hyper focusing on the future, where at the end goal, to the point that you miss the journey, because the magic's not in the end goal. The magic's in the journey. The things that we learn and that we experience, the situations that we find ourselves in, where we learn and we grow, the people along the way, that's where the magic is. And so it's asking you not to focus so much on, the end game, but to be in the moment. And interestingly enough, the confirmation card that you got, first of all, there's a spiral in here, and spirals are always about movement and forward growth. And the confirmation card that you got is all about the journey and working towards a goal. So this is telling you, with your chopwood, when it comes in reverse, this one's talking about you being an armchair astronaut, basically, armchair astronaut, armchair quarterback. You got all these dreams. You spend all your time dreaming about it. You spend all your time thinking about it. You spend a lot of time thinking about big ideas, things like that. But this is about dreaming and talking when it comes in reverse. And it's time to be doing. It's time to move forward. You've done the work. You've done all the hard stuff. It's time to move forward. And this card confirms it. You got all this magic, fun stuff. You can't really see this. I'll take pictures of these cards if you want me to, and send them to you if you want to see them. But there's all this beautiful movement and excitement happening in here, but there's still the big goal. So this is just telling you that big dreams only become reality when you take the first step. And there's there's this quote, and it's something like if you take one step, how does it go? If you take one step towards the gods, they'll take 10 steps towards you. So this is asking you to stop talking about it. Stop. You've done the work. Quit sitting around and dreaming about it and thinking about it and wishing you were there and thinking I should be there, but I'm stuck here. I can't go, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. All limits are self-imposed. This is get off your ass and do it. It's time. Do it. Whatever it is. Live the life that you were meant to live. Become the person that you were meant to become. Now, the next card is a really great card, because you just got kind of spanked by those two cards. They're telling you, essentially, move forward and do the things that you're supposed to be doing. And the next card is blessed. Now, here's what's cool about this card. This is all about unexpected and unearned things, I guess is a good word, gifts, blessings, things that you don't realize coming to you. So when you take one step and the gods take 10 steps towards you, when you don't allow other people's opinions to override your own, when you embrace the fact that you have everything that you need, when you love yourself, I mean, we can go on and on and on about that, that things are going to turn around and go your direction. So if what you have been working toward is something that's been rather elusive, this is telling you to be ready. So it's asking you to watch for it, actually, to keep your eyes open, because you've got this thing coming to you, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be that thing that's going to propel you, to stop being an armchair astronaut and give you the strength and the excitement of something to look forward to and something to move forward. And then the card that you got as confirmation is actually a love card. And this comes right below your the card about self-worth, the never-ending story, you know, that you learning to be as kind, gentle, and generous to yourself as you are to other people, to take care of your own needs, and that sort of thing comes right below that. So this is about, and it also touches the soulmates card. So this is about not only romantic love, but this is about self-love as well. And the better you love yourself, the more you'll be capable of loving other people, and the more, you know, and then the more they will love you. And this card comes typically when you already have love in your life. But this one, especially when it comes with the blessed card like this, something new and amazing coming to you, this is suggesting that there's going to be a renewal of heart. Your heart's going to wake up, and that's pretty exciting. So this could be with someone that you already know. It could be somebody new, but it's going to be you're going to be surprised by it, and it's going to feel like a gift. Now, your next card is the Fates, and really, this is one of my favorite cards. Also, again, these are the things that you need to be focused on. And the Fates, this is about karma, fate also, obviously. And it's also about recognizing the things that you can change, the things that you can't change, the things that you can control, the things that you can't control. And because it's next to and below relationship cards, this is kind of a come to Jesus meeting for you. It's kind of a come to Jesus meeting. It's kind of it's telling you one, that you know, if you've been really working really hard towards something and you're not making any progress, especially as it relates to relationships, and this can be work relationships, it can be familial relationships, and it can be the relationship with yourself. There are certain things, the things that you can't change, you don't have to worry about. And the things that you can't change, you still don't have to worry about it. So this is, again, about you moving forward, especially as it relates to, I mean, it's right here touching soulmates, how you feel about yourself, your blessings. So this is about you recognizing that you are who you are, and you don't really need to apologize for that. So if the situations and the people in your life are not working well with that, then you need to recognize you've already done the work. You know, you've done everything you can do. If right now is not good enough for you, this is as good as it's going to get, which means, again, stop being an armchair astronaut and move and get going. It's time for you to do something. Time for you to stop dreaming, stop thinking at it. You've dreamed it and think that all, you know, for you to move forward. And the Fates card confirms and supports you in that. And the card that you got with that, I'm sure you cannot see these cards well, but this one is all about you looking at everything 6 ways to Sunday. It suggests that you already have. There's all kinds of balance in here. You've looked at this in every way. You've been objective. You've been fair. You've seen all those things. You've recognized the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful in it, and as a confirmation, frankly, to the Fates card that you're still on the right path. So you're getting permission here in every which way for you to be strong and to be assertive and to go after whatever it is that you want. And not just this is you did get these all together. All of your relationship cards are touching, so there's very strong energy in and around your relationships. However, that being said, this card is all about balance throughout your life, physical, emotional, and spiritual balance. And when it comes with the Fate cards, it means that you are moving toward that. You're moving toward that physical, emotional, spiritual balance. And that's touching your peace card. So it's telling you as long as you focus on that, and focus on yourself, and you do things kindly, gently, and generously, both for yourself and for other people, you're gonna achieve the peace, and you're gonna have the life that you want. It's very exciting. You're gonna have a great 2020 if you will love yourself. It all comes back to that. Now, the next card that you got, and again, this is this row is all about what you should be working toward. The first card was flexible, and flexible is all about being teachable. It's about finding the lessons, seeing the lessons, seeing what it is you're supposed to learn in every situation they're in. As you learn that lesson, you're able to move into the next one. And you got the shifting card, you got the poised card, which is all about you moving into this new phase in your life. And so this one is asking you just to recognize that the lessons are going to continue. You're going to continue to grow and to move forward as long as you do these other things, as long as you are assertive and you stop being an armchair astronaut, and you keep your eye on the goal a little bit, but enjoy the journey and do things for yourself, that you love yourself, that you watch for the blessings that are coming for you, because you've got all kinds of things coming, and striving for balance and recognizing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And then, oddly enough, the card that you got with flexible is confirmation, is about growth and balance. So again, it's just saying, yeah, this deck says be teachable, and this card says, yeah, be teachable. That's what you need to do. Okay, third row. We're in the home stretch here. So the third row, this is it's kind of what you have. No, let me say that another way. Your first row is dominant energy. The second card is what you need to be focusing on. The third row is kind of confirmation to this second row, and this is what you need to be focusing on. This next row is how to focus on those things in order to attain the things that you're wanting, to work towards the things that you're going to get. So it's the how. So I'm going to refer back to the card on the second row that I just read to you on what to focus on, and then I'm going to tell you this card and what it means in relationship to that. So the first card of the second row was the Yang in reverse. And again, that's the masculine, about being assertive and that sort of thing, and not being an armchair astronaut. And the card that came under that, and how, the first card that you got, is you got the tribe, and in reverse. And the tribe is all about the people that are supposed to be in your circle, only it came in reverse, which means you need to really, in order to not be an armchair astronaut and sitting around and thinking and wishing and hoping without getting up and doing, the way you're going to do that is you need to really be careful about compromising your own integrity and ethics and that sort of thing in order to please other people. So don't be an armchair astronaut. Be yourself. Be your most authentic, honest self, and be true to yourself first. That's how that's going to work. That's how it's going to happen. The confirmation card you got with that is the life path card. I'm going to share with you a little bit about this one. These cards, there's 3 decks. They're all fractal art. They're amazing cards. They're actually fairly new for me, so I have to look up to see what the actual name of the card is because these cards don't have names on them. So this one is called Path of the Soul. And this is about opening up your heart center. So this is telling you don't compromise your integrity. Be who you are. Be your most authentic, loving self, both to yourself and to other people. Even if you're giving people good news or bad news, you still want to do it in a gentle and kind way. This card is about you moving into the next step, moving into the next phase. So this is telling you not to compromise your integrity, and this is telling you that by doing so, it's going to assist you to move closer to who you are supposed to be and who you are becoming. That's really, that's a very powerful message right there. Now, the next card, it came under chopping wood, which is sitting around and just dreaming and doing and thinking about things and procrastinating not doing. And the card that you got with that underneath that is mending. And the way you're going to do that is by mending. And this is all about fixing things. And in this particular case, it's really about you fixing your own what's the word I'm looking for? You feeling better about yourself and feeling worthy of pursuing the path that you're wanting to pursue, doing the things that you want to do. And the card that you got with that is Revelations. Now, this one is all about new beginnings, new things coming. Now, new beginnings can't happen if you don't take that step. If you don't, you don't quit dreaming about it and just get up and do it. It's all about new beginnings and moving on, and specifically the path that you are supposed to be on. You are on this amazing path, and this is telling you, yeah, buddy. It's about change, big change, and moving forward. Also about a change in perspective, which is interesting, coming next to this card as well. Since that one is, I mean, this whole card is looks like perspective. So mending and changing, a change in perspective, a change in purview is how you are going to move forward and in creating. And by the way, it's right below the card that told you that you have everything you need to create an extraordinary life. So here you go. It's going to allow you. And I think the perspective that this is talking about is really the perspective that, I get, you don't feel worthy. And this is telling you that you're absolutely worthy, that you are as worthy as anyone else. Yeah, so it's very nice. Now the next card is a very interesting card. This came under it came under the how you feel about yourself and being very self-critical, which is being touched by when you stop doing that, you're going to receive all these blessings and special gifts coming to you that you don't expect. But the next card, the card that's underneath that, is Orphaned, and this is all about you feeling abandoned. And I feel like this is your fear, that's what concerns you the most, is abandoning yourself, you abandoning other people, whether it's and abandoning them. I don't mean necessarily, it doesn't feel like like physical abandonment. This feels like emotional abandonment, like very often being left behind. So as you make these changes and you start loving yourself more and loving yourself as much as Spirit loves you, by the way, and loving yourself as much as other people love you, by the way, things are going to be fine. It's going to be fine. When people are going to see, they're going to see that you are where you're supposed to be and doing what you're supposed to be doing. So you don't need to feel abandoned. You're still going to be loved. And then you got serendipity, and you got it in reverse, which means your spirits, guides, and angels, people that have passed to the other side are sending you signs. There's like flashing lights around you and you're not watching, you're not listening. Spirit's trying to talk to you and you're not paying attention. It's asking you to listen. And the confirmation card you got with is that you are completely surrounded by angels and guides and people who love you. You are surrounded by people from the other side that are here to tell you, to help you move forward in this quest that you're on, because the journey that you're on is very important. And the last card is, and by the way, that came under Fates and Karma, which was the one that was talking about how you need to be, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and this is giving you all the support that you need. There's a lot more support, and it's right next to abandonment. So, and then the last card was Unfinished Symphony, and Unfinished Symphony in reverse, by the way. Unfinished Symphony is about you procrastinating, and that procrastinating serves no one, especially you, and you're being asked to move forward. And then your card that came with it is work, which means it's time for you to stop being an armchair astronaut. It's time for you to get up and move. So I'm going to send you a message with some closing comments on this. And I'm going to end this now because it's been an hour. So